Hi everybody, Erin here, and welcome to another book tag. I was tagged to do the A to Z Bookish survey tag by Sierra Flames fan, and I felt like I'd already done this, but then I looked at the questions and I watched her video, and I feel like I did another version of this. And I don't remember doing all of these same questions, so I'm going to do it again, even if I did it before. I might even have different answers because I'm old and I have a bad memory. So I've got the questions written here so that I can, keep track of where I'm supposed to be. So we're going to start with the letter A. A is for author I've read the most books by, and that is Terry Pratchett. I have read over 40 books by him, and I have these two left from his Discworld series, and I think I have some of his short fiction upstairs on the shelf as well to read, and then I think he's got a book. He's got a book about cats, and I know he's got a book. I thought he had a book of sort of essays about Alzheimer's disease, but I could be wrong about that one. So I'm not completely sure. Yeah. B, best sequel ever. For this, I picked The Hogfather. I absolutely love The Hogfather. Again, this is by Terry Pratchett. It is where Death is a character in the Discworld. He rides a large white horse called Binky. So you've got the Grim Reaper dressed in black, scythe, hood, glowy eyes, evil kind of looking dude, hilarious, riding a white horse named Binky. But in this book, Death is taking over for Santa Claus. But when he takes over for Santa Claus, he also can't keep up to his own duties, which are being the Grim Reaper. So all of a sudden, the universe kind of starts filling in for him. And now instead of just death, now there's a death of rats. And there's, like, all of a sudden there's these extra deaths going around and doing his job while he is doing essentially Santa's job. But in this case, it's not called Christmas, and I think it's Hogswatch, and it's not Santa, it's the Hogfather who brings gifts to all the children. So that is a really fun book by Terry Pratchett. Sorry about the glare in my glasses. Got to keep my eyes face down a little bit. What I'm currently reading, The Dog Dish of Doom. I've got 4 books that I'm currently reading. The Dog Dish of Doom is a NetGalley that I have. It's by E.J. Copperman. And so it's a cozy mystery. And that one is an agent to animal actors in Hollywood. And one of her clients' owners, because she's obviously, her clients are the dogs, one of her clients' owners ends up dead. And now I'm at the point where she starts investigating the mystery. So that is your classic cozy mystery with a little bit of a different twist with the agent, an animal agent. I'm also reading See What I Have Done by Sarah Schmidt. This is a Lizzie Borden fictionalization. And it's a bit slow going for me. I've been reading it for a while now. And I'm not digging it as much as I thought I would, and that kind of disappoints me. But I'm hoping it's going to get better and that I don't have to return it to the library incomplete. I am also reading Hell is Empty, which is the 7th book in the Walt Longmire series by Craig Johnson. Drink of choice while reading. I probably said tea or something silly like that when I was talking about this before. To be honest, most of the time when I'm drinking, I drink water. E is e-reader or physical book. Physical book. Fictional character I probably would have dated in high school. I think I was that nerdy girl that would have totally been chasing after Harry Dresden, trying to date him even while he was being the nerdy guy that had no interest in the nerdy girl. So there's that. I'll hold that book up again. Glad I gave this book a chance. I was not really into fantasy, and I asked a friend of mine. I was playing World of Warcraft at the time, and we were talking about books. And one of the guys that was in my guild in World of Warcraft recommended Jim Butcher and the Dresden Files series. And I gave the first book 3 stars. And then I thought, I'll read the next book. I read another Harry Dresden, and another, and another. And it wasn't until, I think, book 4, which is Summer Night, that I actually started really getting into these and loving them. So so glad that I gave Jim Butcher a chance. Hidden gem book. I found Pride, Prejudice, and Curling Rocks on Amazon. It's self-published, so it wasn't easy to find. And I really enjoyed it, actually. It's like a YA romance set around curling, the sport. And I thought that was really fun, actually. And it reminded me of my teen years, which are a long time ago. Important moment in my reading life. Maybe it's that time when I talked to the guys on my WoW guild about books, and I got a love for fantasy novels. Or maybe it's that time when my grandmother used to buy me books at garage sales and developed my love of reading and reading trashy Western novels. Who knows? There's a lot, I think. Book I just finished. The last book I just finished was on my e-reader, and it was Escape from Camp 14, and it's the story of one man's escape from a work camp in Korea and how he made his way to freedom, but it also talks about what happened once he escaped. So his time in the camp, his escape, and then how his life changed and what a culture shock it really was for that young man to live outside of the camp, because he had lived there his entire life and he knew nothing else. Kinds of books I won't read. I don't know if there's anything I won't read. I don't read a lot of horror. I don't read a lot of romance, but I'll read some. So yeah, that's really my answer for that one. Longest book I've read. This might be Anna Karenina, but I also read Kushil's Dart this year, which comes in at like 1,017 pages. So I'm not sure which of those is higher, but they're about the same. Major book hangover because of Beartown. Oh my God, Beartown. I mean, I cried reading that. I got angry reading that. And then when I was done, I really struggled to find an interest in the books that I was reading after that. So there was like a few days where I just kind of sat back and went, I don't want to read because I need a break. And I'm not the kind of person who usually gets book hangovers. Number of bookcases I own, 2. One book I have read multiple times. I haven't really reread a lot of books as an adult. So I think back to high school, and when I was in high school, I found this book. I don't even remember the author of that one, but I do remember the name of it was Kindred Spirit. P is for preferred place to read, beach. Really, if I could be in some sort of chair looking at water, so by the beach, by the pool, in the sun. Q is for quote that inspires you or gives you all the feels. I don't really have one of those. R is reading regrets. I really regret that I read 50 Shades of Grey. Although, hey, it lets me talk somewhat intelligently about how awful that book was. Series I started and need to finish. I kind of mentioned this one before. So all of the books are now out, I believe, in the Terry Pratchett series because Terry passed away, and Raising Steam is the last book in Discworld. And then I also have The Shepherd's Crown, which is also set in Discworld, but this is more the young adult side of it. So these are the only 2 books I have left in Discworld. 3 of my all-time favorite books. Hogfather by Terry Pratchett, Deadbeat by Jim Butcher, that guy, and Beartown. You know what? Beartown really, I think, is going to stick with me for a long time. U is Unapologetic Fangirl 4. For this one, I mean, you can understand Terry Pratchett's on that list, and Jim Butcher's on that list, but Louise Penny. I have discovered that I absolutely love her police series set in Quebec around Chief Inspector Armand Gamache and the community of Three Pines. So huge fan of that. I actually have a review to do of that because I have the most recent book on ARC, and I read it, and it was just released on the 27th. So I really should get that review up and out the door for you guys. But that is Glass Houses by Louise Penny, and it is just as awesome as the rest of that series. V, very excited for this release more than all the others. You know what? It was Glass Houses. That was like my release this year. That was the one that I was waiting for because I love that series so much. W, worst book habit. I don't really have one. X marks the spot. So I need the 27th book on my shelf. This is actually my favorite bookshelf. This is the one that has all of my mysteries, thrillers, and other fun stuff like that. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27. So the 27th book on my shelf is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. Why? The latest book purchase. I just did a book haul not that long ago, and it was all of the books that I picked up at sort of a recycle center that's in the neighborhood. So it was a whole bunch of used books, and it included things like Kushiel's Chosen by Jacqueline Carey. I'll link that down below. And then Z is Last Book That Kept Me Up Way Late. So this is the Z Stealer, right? It kept you awake. Honestly, I am currently listening to The Good Nurse. I don't think I mentioned that. That's my audiobook right now. It's called The Good Nurse, and it's a true crime story about this nurse that was like killing people in the United States, up in the like New Jersey, Pennsylvania areas. And he got away with it for like several years, and he was killing people. And so I listened to this, and my goal is that I'll listen to my audiobooks before I go to bed. But this book is just so enthralling and so engaging. It's like true crime. And like last night I had to change my audiobook because I could not fall asleep. I just sat there staring at the walls going, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. So I got to tell you guys, if you like true crime, I'll put a link to this book down below as well, because it was fantastic, and I can't remember the author right now. So that is the A to Z Bookish survey. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.